On April 21, 2025, Pope Francis died at age 88 in Vatican City due to complications from a stroke and cardiac arrest. His 12-year papacy was marked by humility, social justice, and efforts to modernize the Church. Following his funeral, the College of Cardinals convened in the Sistine Chapel to elect his successor. On May 8, 2025, after 4 rounds of voting, white smoke rose, announcing the election of Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost. The 69-year-old American chose the name Leo XIV, becoming the first American pope in the Church's history. Before the voting began, the cardinal electors prayed in the Pauline Chapel, then moved to the Sistine Chapel while chanting the Litany of the Saints. Inside, each cardinal took the oath of secrecy, pledging to maintain confidentiality about the conclave proceedings. Electronic devices were confiscated and signal jammers were activated. While open campaigning is forbidden, quiet alliances and discussions occur. Technically, any baptized male Catholic can be elected pope, but only cardinals are considered serious contenders. Each cardinal writes the name of his chosen candidate on a ballot, which is then collected, counted, and placed in a chalice. If no candidate receives a 2/3 majority, the ballots are burned with a chemical that produces black smoke. When a candidate receives enough votes and accepts, white smoke signals the election of the new pope. The papacy traces its origins to St. Peter, appointed by Jesus as the first bishop of Rome. After Peter's martyrdom around 64 AD, the church leaders were chosen by local clergy. The first pope after Peter was St. Linus, followed by Anacletus, and Clement I became the first pope to issue pastoral letters. In 897 AD, the Cadaver Synod exposed the extent of corruption in the church. Pope Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of Pope Formosus, who had been dead for 7 months. Formosus' corpse was put on trial, found guilty, and thrown into the Tiber River. The longest papal election occurred in 1268 after the death of Pope Clement IV. Divided between French and imperial factions, the cardinals were deadlocked for nearly 3 years. Frustrated citizens of Viterbo locked the cardinals in a palace, removed the roof, and reduced their food to bread and water. The pressure led to the election of Teobaldo Visconti, who became Pope Gregory X in 1271. To prevent future deadlocks, Gregory X instituted the conclave process in 1274, isolating cardinals conclave with a key until a new pope was chosen. Throughout history, conclaves have been marred by scandal. In 1415, the Western Schism ended when 3 rival popes were forced to resign, making way for Pope Martin V. In 1978, Pope John Paul I died after just 33 days in office, fueling conspiracy theories. In 2013, Pope Benedict XVI became the first pope to resign in 600 years amid the Vatileaks scandal, which exposed corruption and power struggles in the Vatican. For centuries, the papacy was dominated by Italians. This trend was broken in 1978 when Pope John Paul II, a Polish cardinal, was elected. He became the first non-Italian pope since Pope Adrian VI, a Dutchman who served from 1522 to 1523. However, in the early centuries of the Church, several popes were non-Italians, including Anacletus and Evaristus, both of Greek origin, and Pope Constantine, a Syrian. John Paul II's election marked a significant shift, emphasizing the growing international nature of the Church. In 2025, the election of Pope Leo XIV, an American, further reflected the increasing diversity in the Church's leadership. From Peter's direct appointment by Christ to the highly secretive conclave of 2025, the process of electing a pope has evolved dramatically over 2 millennia. Now you know. That's a fact you can keep. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What should we break down next? Until our next session, class dismissed.